Welcome, welcome. Our first video podcast here at Rūmu in Lisbon. Also a first collaboration with Rūmu, which is a new venue in Lisbon. And the idea with this podcast is to do quicker sort of promotional introductions of people that are playing here. And today we have Kris Berle. I tried my best Norwegian accent this time. How did you get here today, Kris? Like in your journey of life and music?
Well, first of all, thank you to Adriano. This is the reason why I'm here. I met him at Burning Man this year, playing at a party called Opera. And then he invited me to play here in Lisbon. He talked about this new venue coming up. He showed me some pictures, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to be in Europe. I was just playing in Oslo. Why not take a trip to Portugal after 18 years? So it feels great to be back, even though it feels like a complete different experience. Last time I was here was at Lux. And I saw Peaches, which was a legendary thing for me because I love that band. And so I always remember Lisbon through that night. And now it's 18 years, so it's been a while.
And when you think about, 18 years is a long time. Musically, kind of, how did you get started in all this world? And what has happened in the last years to get you to where you are now musically?
Yeah, it's been a journey. Everything started, I started playing percussions and electric guitar in a band when I was like 15 years old. And then my mom kind of like introduced me into the electronic music world because she used to be like a aerobics teacher, and she had this like Eurotrance cassettes that she was playing in her classes. And then I was like, okay, wow, this trance sound is kind of like bringing me back to my roots. So I started like all the percussions I was playing back then. Then I started like mixing them with electronic music that my mom used to play. And then I was suddenly hanging out with people that bought the first Pioneer CDJs. And then I was totally obsessed with that. I was like, I think I'm just gonna get really good at this. I was 18 years old the first time I started spinning CDs. And that kind of like took me out a bit out from the acoustic world, and then I started like getting really into the computer world. And then I was like DJing pretty much in Mexico, and the first time I was in Burning Man kind of like took my career up. I played at Mayan Warrior 2016 and 17, I think so. Yeah. And that was like the biggest experience of my life. And after that, I've been DJing different parts in Europe, mostly the US and Mexico. And I started producing around 7 years ago. I thought that I had a need to explore my own sound. And right now, that's kind of like my journey now. It's like the way I feel I can express the most is making my own music, combining it for sure with DJing, like the experience of playing in the dance floor, just like expressing through sound. For me, it's super potent. It's the only way where I can kind of like put words into a place. I have sometimes like a hard time expressing how I feel to people, and music, it's the only way to kind of like let them know like, hey, you're fucking hot, or something like that, you know.
There's a conversation going on.
I love that. And okay, so this is a great history, and you kind of, I get it.
Yeah.
we can say things with music that we can't say with words. I've heard other really beautiful stories of that, especially in back-to-backs, like saying something to the other person who's playing. And
Yeah,
people even falling in love this way, you know?
Yeah,
Throwing
back to
it
back.
back and forth, yeah.
Back to backs sometimes work for me, sometimes not.
Yeah.
But it's definitely, it's like a very spontaneous act, back to back. No, it's like you really don't know what's going to happen.
So you mentioned Burning Man. What's it like to play a large open venue in the middle of the desert? And how does it compare with being in a small specialty club like Rūmu? Like, how does that change the way you play? Or does it?
I mean, first of all, since I arrived to this place, even the smell, it's like, it's wooden. I love to play like in wooden spaces. And it brings me back to certain places I've played in the world, Norway or Germany, or even like one of those when you go deep Burning Man and you find this cool like circus parties, like more in kind of like closed spaces. This is what this place brings me back to. And the color, it's one of my favorite colors, wine color. It's it kind of like makes me want to play here. Mm-hmm. Like I really feel inspired to play here now. I'm happy I came to kind of like get the vibe before Friday. And I'm sure it's going to be special, and I don't know if I can compare it to Burning Man because it's two different spaces, but I feel energetically we are connected.
Mm-hmm.
Is there, maybe just as a last question, is there at the moment something you are feeling led to express in how you're playing? Maybe something new you want to try? What's inspiring you at the moment and inspiring your current musical vision?
So I feel the last trips I've done, that's what I love about traveling. Like you bring music with you from place to place. And I feel right now more of like a big connection with Norway and what I've been listening to. Right now I was in a party last week at Einar, and it's a party that they throw every year. And Sasha Kawa was playing and two other DJs from Oslo. And it's kind of more of a sound, like a little bit darker, not very melodic. It's more like monotonous and like more kind of like, like more minimal. And I feel that's where I'm at right now. I feel I've been sharing a lot of melodies in the past because I'm very like emotional. But right now I feel more like kind of like stronger with myself. And I feel that I'm like, okay, I don't need to shout out and bring out those melodies. I feel I can just be like minimal and be like, hey, I'm cool, you know. Like I just let's get the floor grooving. You don't always need like such much melodies to express. You can just put a beat, and if that makes you dance, it will keep the night going. So I've been trying to simplify my music. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you'll be playing like a mixture of your productions and...
I'm gonna play mostly the inspirations I've been listening to lately. Yes, I was, some of the tracks I listened from Finnebassen and Sasha Kawa, and some weird stuff I've been finding also. After Burning Man, I was super inspired. I played at the birthday of one of my best friends that he's a magician, and I was obsessed with some music I listened the last day of the burn. A girl from Holland, her name is Cher. She was playing with her husband from Uzbekistan, if that's the name of that country, yeah. Mm-hmm. And that was like, for me, made the whole burn. They were playing a track called Pussy Power. And then I was like, okay, I'm bringing this track with me to the next venue, and I'm going to share that song too. So it's mostly what you're going to hear. It's the past 3 months of my life, from Oslo to North Cape to Burning Man, yeah, and Portugal.
What a great overview.
To here and now. Well, very much excited for you to play the club and meet the people here. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the invitation. Really looking forward, and I can't wait to show you what I got.